Hey guys, Hooked2Clash here, and today's video is going to highlight 6 attacks that I did back to back to back in Legends League with Hybrid, and I tripled 6 in a row. It's probably my longest streak of triples, at least in High Legends, because as you can see here, obviously 5300 is nowhere near the top, but at the time that I was doing these, it's like a day ago. At the time I was doing this, I was like the top 40 or 50 in Australia. I'm kind of doing a low-key kind of push this season to see how high I can go. Plus, I actually think it's going to help my gameplay. Anyways, we're getting distracted from the point. So today we're going to go through my 6 triples in a row. As you can see, we didn't quite get 7. That was unfortunate there. But yeah, we're going to go through all the triples and just because a lot of them are quite common Legends bases, or if they aren't, I'm going to go through my thought process of how I broke down the base, and hopefully that will help you all out. I know I don't do Legends videos too often. They're not the most exciting thing in my opinion, but when you get 6 triples in a row in Legends, I feel like it's worth talking about. Now, we're going to go 2 times through this because I've shown this base on this channel many times, and I've actively called it the worst Legends base there is. And if you want to get it with Hybrid, this is how you do it. You start with the Queen on the left hand side of the army camp up there, and no, I've done this charge so many times and only once has she ever gone left here. She always goes right, which is perfect. It's exactly what I want. And while she's doing that, you lure the CC on the bottom side as I have there, and then as soon as the Queen has dealt with the CC, you will use your other wall breaker if you've got super wall breakers, or your remaining wall breakers if you've just got the normal ones, and you use like the P.E.K.K.A. and the Siege Barracks to clear out like this side of the funnel. The Queen's obviously cleared out that side, and you Hybrid straight through the gut. And because this Queen charge is pretty safe, sorry, we'll zoom in a bit. Because this Queen charge is very safe, you often have a bunch of rages for your Hybrid. See, I had 2 rages, 2 heals, and 1 freeze for that, which is just so many spells. My RC actually went on the outside of the base. You normally don't want that, but it was fine. It doesn't look like an overkill, but given I've got my RC and Queen ability, we could have easily got through the back end there, even if the Hybrid didn't go so well. So if you want to beat that base with Hybrid, that is absolutely how you do it. Now, we're going to have to do a bit of scrolling today. I'm sorry about all that. We'll get into the second base here. And this is more sort of the bases that I'm starting to see in the High Legends sort of area, or the mid to High Legends area, is these box bases. And they're actually really awkward to charge, especially with these air defenses positioned as is. Because if you want to wall break into this scatter compartment, you think your Queen's going to be fine getting these air defenses. Because there's like 2 tiles, same on this side, because I'm pretty sure I come in from the bottom of the base. It's actually very awkward getting your Queen to path to it. So you have to do a few funky things to make it worth. So I'm using 2 wizards and my Yeti to funnel. I wanted my Yeti mites to take out the Archer Tower here. That was the goal, but I'm pretty sure they don't. Pretty sure they do something crazy. I don't know. Maybe I can't remember this correctly. Nope, the Archer Tower goes down. Sorry, that was absolutely perfect. And my Queen actually deals with a couple of Teslas early on. And as you can see, I've put my healers as far left as possible. I could have put them on the Queen, but I want to keep them out of range of this air defense here as much as possible. I wall break early. My Queen under rage takes out the enemy Queen, and then I'm using my King here. I don't always use my King to funnel the I don't always use my King to funnel with the Queen. A lot of the time I like to save him, but on these box sort of bases, because the plan is to Hybrid in from here anyway, my King's going to help funnel that when he comes around the corner anyway. So using him early, you don't really lose any funneling for your Hybrid, and it definitely helps your Queen out a lot. So there's a little tip for you there. If your King's going to help funnel the Hybrid anyway when he's funneling your Queen, then it's definitely a worthy investment. And then I'm starting the Hybrid really early here. And the reason I'm doing this is because as soon as these compartments on the left-hand side are down, this wall breaker targets this wall. And by getting this wall breaker to target this wall, look how much value my Queen can get. She's already gotten rid of the Eagle. I'll pop her ability here, I think. No, she just stays alive. Oh my, that was quite lucky. Perfect Warden ability, by the way. We get all our troops in it. But I feel like on these bases, the box ones, it's imperative that you do a Queen charge that takes out like the gut of the base. I should have probably paused this to talk about it more, but I think we've got another box base later on, so we'll talk about it more then. But as you can see, we haven't used all our rage spells, so we're using another rage spell on the Hogs here, and that gets them in the dead zone radius of the scatter shot. So they take that out super quickly. Fortunately, they hit a couple of bombs, but yet again, got the RC ability, and there's next to no defenses left, so we're going to cruise through the back of this base. The only reason this takes a bit longer is all the cleanup buildings, but I don't think this was close on time at all. It was just a really clean attack there. We'll go into this attack next. And this is another sort of style of the base you see. Normally you see the town hall more towards the outside on these, but this one was quite deep in the base. So originally what I was thinking, I had a look, and this wall here, or subsequently this wall here, looks suspiciously long. And I was pretty sure I could get a wall break on it. My whole attack relied on getting this wall break, so it's a bit of a risk, but I was pretty confident I could get this wall break. And if I get the first wall break, because this second layer, the wall's connected to like a compartment here, it's not like an open wall, I was very confident I was going to be able to wall break on the scatter shot as well. So if I get this first layer wall break and can get the scatter shot, then that'd be nice. As we can see, we used like a Yeti and a few wizards to funnel, and then a bunch of headhunters came out of the CC, which is perfect. I mean, the headhunters, yes, they slow down the Yeti, but they do a lot, lot less damage to the Yeti than my heroes. So I would much rather them go after the Yeti, and I just used the poison spell early, and we dealt with it really easy. As you can see, this wall breaker works, and suddenly this attack is starting to shape up. Unfortunately, this king's going to be an absolute nuisance. I don't know if I use my headhunter here. Yep. Because of all the skellies distracting my queen, I needed to use the headhunter to slow down the king. Now I try and use my final wizard to funnel in the queen, but she's already pretty well funneled in anyway. I'm honestly not too worried about her here. So she goes in very nicely here. We get an early rage down because we can see this enemy queen's about to start beating on my queen just in time for her to get into scattershot range as well. So that was kind of unfortunate. She fortunately just does stay alive, but then she activates the town hall. I don't know if I freeze here, but either way, this queen's in a lot of trouble at this point. I should get a rage down shortly. I'd get it down. It looks like she might stay alive, actually. Anyways, I'm hybriding through the top side of the base here. I like to hybrid quite early on a lot of these Legends bases, honestly. There's no need to muck around. If you've got the CC and the Town Hall and a few heroes with your Queen Charge, you've got enough value for sure. Look at that Warden ability, by the way. Gets absolutely everything in the core of the base, and it's going to allow them to push out of the core. We use the heal on the back end single. My RC and Siege Barracks Hogs are kind of just clearing out the flanks, which I am perfectly okay with. As long as they're moving in like unison or in tandem, we're fine. As you can see, on the left-hand side, we used an OP freeze there to freeze the scatter shot, the ground bow, and the archer tower. It just ensures my queen stays alive, and by getting rid of that scatter shot, which otherwise would have been on the back end of the base, it would have been a bit uglier a finish, but this ends up being quite comfortable. Yet again, have the queen and the RC up. No abilities this time, but a bunch of hogs, a bunch of miners. Like, look how many miners that is. That's heaps there. And we end up wrecking this base. Anytime you can get that sort of value, also swag freeze, anytime you can get that sort of value from your queen charge, you know you're going to wreck the base. We'll go into this one. Oh, now I feel bad for tripling this guy. Look at the clan name. It's Hug Rider. That's such a wholesome clan name. That's so wholesome. However, what I'm about to do to his base isn't so wholesome. Now, this is a base that Itsu, I believe, posted for a base link about 2 months ago or something, and the base went huge immediately. And you still see it from time to time. So if you're wondering how to triple it, this is how you do it. Now, I haven't done it against a full Headhunter Inferno Drag CC before, so I don't know if it works versus that, but this hit will work basically versus anything, because as you can see, we've got no defenses to deal with at this point. There's literally no room for Teslas or even Sams at this point to pop, so all you've got to worry about is that poison and the queen and the healers nice and early on. So this part of the attack's pretty chill. Just getting the CC for free, like, worth it in my opinion. The CC is one of the strongest defenses in the game. Then you've got to kind of sit here and predict which ways the queen's going to go. This is important though. You use the 4 loons. Some of the time you have to rage them, but use all of your loons to take out this single. It just makes it really simple here. Then the queen goes up here. Now, unfortunately, I think no, I didn't use the Yeti. No, I'm getting attacks mixed up. Anyways, we queen charge nicely down the bottom here. That rage was a little late, but still going nicely. Thankfully, that king's tanking a couple of those bows. Now, one of them switches, and this is when we start to get into trouble, because this RC is about to go after my queen, and she's under so much damage at this point. So we will have to pop the queen ability, but you shouldn't have to panic too much if this happens. Unfortunately, we waste a freeze there. But like when that happens, just get your funneling troops down quickly and your hybrid down even quicker. This just takes so much damage off your queen. Yes, I just put a lot of my hybrid straight into a bomb tower, but that's okay. As long as we can keep our queen alive, that's the most important thing for a lot of these hybrid attacks. As you can see, my queen's actually going to duck back the other way. We get an OP wall break on the wizard tower, and because we've still got a freeze spell, look at what this queen's going to get. She's going to carve out that right side of the base, and then bam, look at that, another perfect warden ability. That's honestly one of the greatest, one of the common themes we've seen in a lot of the attacks today. We've gotten so much value out of the warden. There is a lot of junk on the top side, including the king and Tesla farm with the Grand Warden, but it's just going to get overrun. Look how many troops there are. I've got all the wizards from my siege barracks with the P.E.K.K.A. and the Yeti that I used with the siege barracks still all the way over there. My queen's chilling on the right side, so this base gets absolutely wrecked. It took me a few times to kind of perfect this attack on this base. I haven't hit it during this push I've done, but I have hit it in like past pushing runs I've done, and you fail some of the time, but slowly but surely you will get the hang of it. Sorry, I'm just remembering where we were. That was Hug Rider. So this next attack, I was actually very happy with this attack. So I'll actually pause it and talk about it for a bit. So as we can see near the town hall, this wall here and this wall here aren't really long enough to wall break. Now I'm pretty sure you could wall break this Inferno here because that's long enough, but I don't know how I'd get the queen into the single Inferno there. It would be very difficult. So I kind of decided at that point, well, I don't really want to queen charge the town hall. It looks like a really difficult queen charge. Where else can I queen charge on this base? Sorry. And the first thing I kind of noticed is, and you've only got 30 seconds, so you've got to kind of trust your gut. So if I can queen charge in here and wall break on this single, firstly, I deal with the single and a lot of the damage before this CC comes out. And secondly, we can get this scatter shot as well, get all of this, and then hybrid straight into the town hall. Because I think the defender here is expecting an attack into the town hall, and it's very well set up to defend a queen charge or anything into that, but a hybrid is a lot harder to stop. So if we can get our queen into this top compartment, we should be good. So we trust our gut. As you can see, we used the full 30 seconds on this because I'd never seen this base before, so I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. But yet again, use the Yeti on the right hand side. It's such a good funnel troop. Because the main thing you want with the funnel, the hardest thing to funnel will always be like this cannon here, right? Because you could send like 5 loons or like a couple of baby drags. It's always going to be hard to funnel. Now, we don't get it with the Yeti this time, but like that was my best chance of getting that down with the funnel. So that's why I bring a Yeti. It's the best funnel troop in the game. It's not susceptible to SAMs, and even though there can be springs, you often don't see springs on the outside of the base. As you can see, the queen goes in nicely here. I don't know why I haven't wall broke yet. Oh, that wall breaker was just on time. That was low-key kind of lucky. An OP freeze there on the queen and the scatter shot allows my queen to step up easily. Now, this was lucky. The hound went off to the left and the Inferno drag went off after my queen. So, look, a bit of luck was had there, but, you know, you need a bit of luck in Legends, right? Anyways, as you can see, we pop a rage here, not because we really needed to keep our queen alive, just because I wanted her to get through the hound quickly. Thankfully, because the Inferno drag kind of separated from the hound, we've still got our poison, and we're going to blitz through these pups. Now, I did use the king to funnel in my queen. I think it was worth it, because he cleared out a nice funnel. It just makes it a lot harder for my siege barracks here. Honestly, I should have set my siege barracks a bit lower, because I don't think this P.E.K.K.A. ends up doing a lot. We've yet again raged our queen. Unfortunately, the eagle goes after my healers. I don't get the AI of that, and the only reason I haven't started my hybrid yet is I'm making sure the eagle targets my queen. If it was going to target my healers, I was putting down an instant freeze, otherwise my healers would be dead. As we can see, we're starting the hybrid straight into the town hall. The pathing's not perfect, but because it's so thin, because of what my queen's cut out for it, really can't go too wrong there. Unfortunately, we miss a few hogs, so this wasn't the perfect warden ability, but it's okay. I used the freeze to keep my queen alive, which was pointless because I'm pretty sure she has to pop her ability there anyway. So kind of a wasted freeze. But we're pushing through the base nicely. We're going to have to use our other heal really quickly here. I was kind of hoping that I would have a heal left for this back end, because look at this back end. This back end is nasty as... But you can't always have what you want. Unfortunately, these healers are stuck on the queen, and given the queen's not going to get a lot more value here, I would have loved the healers to switch to the hybrid, because as you can see, my hybrid is losing health quickly. These wizard towers and the king's doing damage. That was a clutch headhunter though. This headhunter in the core of the base came in perfectly to help deal with the enemy king. Helped my miners and RC out a lot. I was trying to save my RC ability, but I had to pop her here. So unfortunately, she didn't take out as much of the Tesla farm. But we're pushing through nicely here. Now, the thing is, this went down to the very last second. I'm pretty sure I get this triple with 1 second left. So that was kind of lucky. But I really like the queen charge on that base. I think a lot of the time you've got to do what the attacker's not expecting. And I don't think the attacker was expecting a queen charge from up there. And into the last attack of our triple streak. Now this is another box base, and I'll kind of go into detail more about what I was talking about on the first box base. So hopefully you can stay around for some of this analysis. Hopefully I don't bore you too much. Let me know in the comments if it's a little too much. Anyways, as you can see, we got these annoying air defenses again. And what you want to do on these bases, or at least what I've found, is you kind of want to charge into one of these compartments, whether it be this one, like one of the compartments on the side of the base. I don't really like charging into these corner compartments, A, because there's the open wall there, but B, because I don't think it gives you a lot of access to A, the singles, but also like the scatters, and it's very hard to get to the town hall from there. So you don't really want to queen charge in like these corner compartments. You'd much rather queen charge into these big side compartments. And the reason you want to do that is my plan on this base was like I used the Yeti and funneled out like all of this side here, and then have the queen go this way, get her to go into this single compartment by yet again. I think I used my king to help out, because we could use the king like this, and he'd go around, and then he'd help funnel the hybrid, and you hybrid straight into this archer tower cannon air defense mortar compartment. And the idea is if you take out all of that, then you should be able to second layer wall break on the scatter shot here. And if your queen goes in and gets the town hall, like we can get rid of everything. Imagine if you queen charge, like even just like that on the base, right? That's like minimalistic at this point if you get that second layer wall break. If you queen charge all of that, you get 2 heroes, you deal with the CC, you get the scatter, the town hall, a bomb tower, and you get amazing pathing around the base. Yes, the hybrid has to take out a lot, but on these Legends bases, it has to do that some of the time. Because a lot of the time in the Legends bases, the value is concentrated, which is good for hybrid. It means it can take out more of the base. So that's the plan on this. We'll go through it. The one downfall of these sort of attacks is if you mess up this second layer wall break, as I do in this attack, you leave yourself at risk of 1-starring. But if you're making it this high in Legends and running into these sort of bases, often you'll be a strong enough attacker that you're not too worried about that and you can execute it. But that's just, I mean, I haven't hit these enough to know for sure, but that's just my advice for you all. We'll take it back to 1 times. As you can see, I angled the healers as far left as possible when I deployed them, so they're out of range of this air defense. The healers aren't in range yet. We use that first freeze. I freeze the king deliberately just to make sure he doesn't step out and get in the way. I use a Raged Loon to kind of tank for that air defense. It does get one of my healers, but it doesn't get the second. Look at this. The queen takes out the single just in time. Then this headhunter is going to help out. And yep, we use the king to funnel. He was kind of after the queen, but we're still using him to funnel. And then we get a nice poison there. Luckily, it was a pretty easy CC, honestly. Also lucky that the eagle targets my king, not my queen, or even worse, my healers. The king's going to step in for the archer tower here, but normally on these sort of compartments, he steps straight out, which he will here. And then basically, because my queen's getting very close to going for that second layer stuff, I need to start my hybrid ASAP. Otherwise, this wall breaker won't work. So yeah, the hybrid goes in. And then look, that wall breaker targeted that compartment because the air defense was still up. So bad execution on my part, but this is still going to work out. So as we can see, the queen beats through a nice wall. She's out of single range, not by much, but she is out of it, which is nice. I'm hanging on to my Warden ability just in case I need to Warden over the Town Hall, but it looks like my Queen's going to get it. I freeze the Town Hall and the Scatter, and then Warden anyway, so I don't know really why I did that. Probably not my smartest choice. The single's on my Queen, but because I've still got the Queen ability, that's fine. We get through that easily. The Queen takes out the Town Hall just before the Siege Barracks Hogs make it. Kind of fortunate there. That heal on the top side was money. A lot of the times in those big side compartments, you see a million giant bombs, and as you can see, like, the Queen ability and the fact that she can reach the single really helped her out, and we've wrecked this. Like, it's not going to look wrecked, but we've got 4 heroes left up. We've got a few miners and wizards for cleanup. We've still got hogs up, and that's how I take down these box spaces. Now, it won't work on everyone, and you will be punished for poor execution, but as far in terms of all the playing around with I've done on these styled bases and legends, this is absolutely the best way to take them out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed all 6 triples today. I normally don't do these Legends League videos, but I mean, like I said earlier in the video, I thought I would, and hopefully you all learnt something from it. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it, and maybe we'll see some of you soon.